Alright, let's get some stuff moved here. We're gonna go up to old reliable. Starts every time. Never stops. Always working, just gets the job done. What the? Oh, come on. Well, she works it most of the time. It's the first time she's never started. Check the fuses. Looks like we have ignition. We have power at least. We have 12 volt at the battery. Fuses are fine. What else? Well, these are disconnected because I was doing a continuity check on the clutch switch. Got a little safety switch down here. It's hidden up underneath there. Gets pushed against that plate. Whenever you push the clutch down, completes the circuit to allow you to start it. And it's failing continuity. So I'm going to attempt to bypass this for the time being. I'm just going to put gator clips or like a adapter in between these two. See what happens. Okay, I know it said I was failing continuity. It actually wasn't failing. It was intermittent. Instead of using my Klein, I'm just going to use this little guy. I made this guy a long time ago. He's got an LED, a little resistor in there, and he just tells me if there's an open or closed circuit. What do engines need to run? Fuel, air, and spark, right? Or in this case, in the case of this here diesel, compression, heat. So that's not the problem I had here. Because we weren't even getting ignition. We weren't getting start. We weren't getting anything. She wasn't cranking over. Nothing was happening. Why? Well, I'm an idiot. So I'm a dummy. Started into this, got it all apart, checked the clutch switch. Then I realized, oh yeah, there's a switch right here for the neutral. So, get to know your tractors. On most tractors, you're gonna have brake or clutch. In my case, I don't have a brake. I don't have a brake switch. I have a clutch switch. For whatever reason, they decided not to do the emergency brake one. But anyway, so you either have brake clutch, seat, which I do not have. It's not installed, never was. Ignore the duct tape. Then you have your gear selector. And finally, you have your PTO. So, what was my problem? Well, don't have a seat one. Ignition and everything was right. Everything was good. Gear selector actually was a little bit off. It was kind of like, between gears like that. But not a big deal. That's fine. I even think I have a tilt switch sensor right there. It tilts over, it shuts off. I think that's what this guy is. It's got wires coming out the back of it. While that was intermittent, for some reason, it still seems to be okay. So what stopped me? Why wasn't I able to start? Well, somebody's big foot, this guy, apparently kicked that, and that was the problem this whole time. Not really, it was a small mistake. It was something I overlooked, something I should know better. And if you really know your vehicle or your tractor, you should know these things. These are basic things. I mean, they're a little bit more than basic, but they're stuff that probably should be realized. And I didn't know where my manual was. My dad had kept records meticulously over the past 30 years for this thing. Is everything he has. Very meticulous man. He keeps track of everything. Receipts, books, manuals, everything. Probably even original paper wrappers of stuff. Which he gave me. It's in the barn in a box somewhere, I think, with all the other stuff that got moved around 10 million times in the shuffle. Anyway, so did some quick looking, looked up a YouTuber tractor channel. This guy is amazing. I forget his name off the top of my head. I will put a link in the description, and he has tons of stuff on tractors. And first video I pulled up happened to be the one I needed, and it reminded me of a few things. That most tractors have limit switches that prevent you from being able to start them, you know, safety switches. And generally you're going to have seat. You're going to have, that's in case you fall off, you know, you got to fall off. You don't want the tractor rolling down the street and continuing on, because, you know, they're not like a car. They don't really idle. They just, you put them in throttle and go. Then you have your, so you have seat, you have brake, which in my case, mine doesn't have a brake switch. Mine has a clutch switch, whatever. You have gear selector, so you want it to be a neutral switch. Mine was a little bit between neutral and third, but probably not enough to matter. That wasn't the problem. So what was the problem? Well, you have PTO. And on this tractor I have two, I have a mid and a rear. And, well, turns out, the last time I got off the tractor, kicked it. Yep, that's what it was. This whole time. Like an idiot. Yep. So, put that guy down. Give the glow plugs a little love. Let them warm up, do their thing. Oh, that was quick. Yeah, because it's warm outside. And oops, sorry. Well, I learned something today, and it wasn't a terrible loss, because it reminded me of a few things you don't often keep in the back of your mind, and you know, stuff to look for the next time you hop on. Check a couple things, pull a couple levers, switch a couple bobs, and don't start to overthink it like I did and start to tear things apart before you actually look at the smaller things. Well, it's fixed. Thanks for watching. Stick to it. Go make something, go fix something, go build something. Have a good one.